If you have been following this channel, then you already know that I really love this Evolution CR Plus airbrush 2-in-1 with the big 5mm cup. I'm using the needle in this one, and I have been painting nearly all my toys with this one. This one has been one of my favorite airbrush ever. This one is very easy to use, and the space between the cup and the trigger is more than enough to actually use it. I really like this one. This is one of my favorite. Then I bought a new one to make details. That one is the Infinity CR Plus. The Infinity CR Plus is a 0.15mm needle, also with a 5mm cup, and also a very good trigger system here. It's about the same length that the Evolution, but I like this one for details and this one for general purpose. Those two have been my go-to airbrush to paint toys, but I needed something more, something less sophisticated. And this one that I'm going to show you, one I bought by error, but I keep it because I think it worked perfectly. This one is a Hansa 3H1. This one works very differently than the other two. This has the same cup, a 5mm cup, and then they have a trigger, the normal trigger. It's not so different, it's just an airbrush, it works the same. There are a few differences between the Hansa and the other two that I showed you before. For example, this conical trigger and the nozzle also. That is a little bit different from the other parts. This one is a single action airbrush. Single action, it means that you don't need to press but pull only, and it came both air and paint, so you don't need to press it down like the other ones, just pull back slowly and then comes paint. This one has a 0.3mm needle inside. And something that I like with this one is that the paint comes out in a good flow, if you understand what I mean. I'm using this one to the general purpose, to bigger surfaces and bigger toys. The other one that I bought was this one. It's exactly the same, but this one is the 2H1 version. And why is 2H1 version? Yes, this is because this one came with a 0.2 needle instead for a 0.3 and another kind of cup. So this cup that I have here, I bought it separately, and the other one was a little one. This is the original cup. If you use this airbrush with the original cap, you won't have any problem at all with the trigger. It's very easy to use, very good airbrush to use. But the problem is that if you do like I did, I mean to change this one with a bigger cup, then you are going to have a lot of problems. Because now the problem is that I don't have a place to put my finger in the trigger when I want to use the trigger. So to accommodate the finger on top of the trigger is difficult now. I can insert it in this space between the cup and the trigger, so I have a lot of problems with that. I have been using this for a long time now, and right now I don't have any problems, but in the beginning I have a pain in the hand because of just the position I have with the finger. It's just the tip of the finger that I'm using to paint. Which one do I recommend to paint toys? This is a very difficult question. If I can choose two, one for bigger surface and the other for details, then I will choose maybe the Hansa 2H1 and the Infinity. But remember that this is a very expensive one. The Infinity is not recommended for everyone. So you can use this one, the 2H1, and this one instead those two are the ones I'm using right now to paint all my toys. And the smaller details, I use these ones for those. So the 2H1 works perfectly with the small details. This one, maybe if you want to paint an eyeball or something like that, right, perfectly. But those two, I have 99% of all my usage are made with these two. And if I had to choose just one of them, well, the 2H1 is my favorite, with maybe the smaller cups. But if you have been painting for a long time, then maybe the 3H1 could work with details. So it's up to you, it's up to your budget, but it's also up to the design of the toy you are going to paint. So those are my choices for airbrushes.